Did you know there was a time when men in America proudly strutted down the street in high heels and raccoons were turned into hats by actual presidents? And that's just scratching the surface. Welcome to a wild ride through the most ridiculous and surprising fashion trends in American history. Strap in, because by the end of this video, you might just look at your own closet and wonder, am I part of the madness too? Hey y'all, welcome to Factual America. If you love jaw-dropping stories, unbelievable facts, and a no-holds-barred look into the quirks that have shaped the good old US of A, you're in the right place. In this video, we're diving headfirst into the most bizarre, bold, and sometimes just plain bonkers trends that swept through American fashion over the past centuries. From ancient powdered wigs to questionable 2000s denim, fashion in this country has been much more than apple pie and baseball caps. You might think fashion's all about looking good, fitting in, or making a statement, but trust me, some American style statements over the years are so out there, you'd swear they were straight out of a comedy sketch. Today, we're not just talking about what people wore, but why they did it, how these trends caught fire, and which ones still lurk in our wardrobes, just waiting for a comeback. Let's start with a big one, literally. Remember the zoot suit? Back in the 1940s, American teens, especially in jazz and swing circles, went crazy for these oversized, high-waisted, wide-legged, and baggy suits, finished off with wide-brimmed hats and long chains. What's wild is how an attempt to rebel against rationing rules intended to save fabric for the war effort turned into an outright cultural movement. The suits were so over the top, they were eventually banned in some cities, sparking the infamous Zoot Suit riots in Los Angeles in 1943. Shocked yet? That's only the start. Let's back up a few centuries to the colonial days. Ever heard of the powdered wig craze? Inspired by European royalty, American men, and even a few ladies, wore massive white wigs, sometimes so tall and curly they resembled frosted cakes. Go ahead and imagine George Washington in one of those. It's both regal and ridiculous at the same time. If you were important, you'd powder up, and no one wanted to be left out, even if it meant itchy scalps and hours of prep. But nothing says American quirk like the raccoon coat. Believe it or not, during the 1920s and 1930s, college kids went wild for oversized coats made from raccoon fur. These coon coats were considered the ultimate status symbol for Ivy League students. The trend was so big that President Calvin Coolidge posed with his own pet raccoon named Rebecca, who, thankfully, wasn't turned into outerwear. Now, let's talk about footwear. It's easy to think of high heels as strictly women's wear, but that wasn't always the case in America. Back in the 18th century, high-heeled shoes were worn by wealthy men to signify power and prestige. Imagine cowboys in red-soled stilettos. Okay, not quite, but it's closer to reality than you'd expect. It wasn't until the 1800s that the tide shifted and heels became a mostly feminine affair. Fast forward to the 1970s and 80s, when American fashion became a laboratory for wild experimentation. Ever heard of JNCO jeans? These things could swallow a small child and were so wide, you'd think teenagers were trying to take flight. Pair them with a neon windbreaker or a hypercolor t-shirt, those color-changing shirts that revealed all your sweat stains, and you had yourself a true statement look. Then there's the infamous mullet haircut, business in the front, party in the back. Yes, it's hair, not clothing, but it was as much a style craze as bell-bottoms or platform shoes. And don't even get me started on the perm. If you didn't fry your hair to a crisp in the 80s, were you even living? Not all ridiculous trends were decades ago. Take the early 2000s. Remember everyone layering on multiple polo shirts? Collars popped, of course, sometimes in glow-in-the-dark shades. And who could forget Ed Hardy shirts and their bedazzled tattoo art? Or jeans so low-rise they looked like they were in a race to meet your ankles? And, of course, Crocs. These squishy, rubbery shoes have divided the nation since 2002. Some folks wear them like a badge of honor. Others wouldn't be caught dead in them. But love them or hate them, Crocs are as American as fast food and Friday night football. If you're brave enough, try wearing them with socks, preferably mismatched. Let's not leave out the wild accessories. Think slap bracelets, mood rings, fanny packs, and shutter shades. Some trends just keep bouncing back, whether we want them to or not. Today, even fanny packs have become cool again, but now we call them belt bags. Don't be fooled, they're the same thing Grandma wore at Disney World. But here's the twist. Many of these trends, laughable as they seem now, actually tell a bigger story. They reflect the social shifts, rebellions, and even insecurities of the times. That's why American fashion is so endlessly entertaining. One decade's embarrassment is the next generation's nostalgia. Think about it. What fashion trend do you regret wearing? Or maybe secretly love, even if everyone else thought it was ridiculous? Let's keep the conversation rolling. Drop your most embarrassing or outrageous style memory in the comments below. And hey, if you're enjoying this walk down the weirdest catwalks in American history, don't forget to slam that like button, subscribe for more Factual America, and share this with a friend who still owns a pair of JNCOs or, gasp, a fanny pack. Seriously, so next time you see someone stepping out in something wild, remember, they might just be starting the next big thing. American fashion has never been about playing it safe. After all, in a country built on revolution, it's no surprise we wear our quirks on our sleeves. Sometimes, literally. Thanks for hanging out with us on Factual America, where the facts are just as weird as the fashions. See you next time, and until then, stay bold, stay curious, and maybe stay away from raccoon coats.